This is not a fun topic to talk about, but it's one that I don't hear covered very often, and I think it's worth discussing. Well, hey, if we haven't met before, my name is Betsy. I have a wonderful husband and two small kids, and a third one that is coming very soon. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about cleaning when in pain. I'm coming at this from my own perspective and my own framework. I have never dealt with long-term illness. I have never dealt with chronic pain. I am someone that is in my third trimester of pregnancy, and every time I hit the third trimester of my pregnancies, for whatever reason, I get very, very intense rib pain on one side. And it's so intense to the point where as the day kind of gets later and later, I have to lay down. Like it hurts so badly that it hurts to stand, it hurts to sit. Pretty much any position other than laying down doesn't feel great. And so this is something that is just a funky thing that my body does each time I'm pregnant, and it does go away once I have the baby. So when I talk about being in pain, I just want to put that up front. I know maybe some of you out there are dealing with chronic pain, long-term pain, and I have not dealt with that. And so coming from my point of view, these are some ideas that have helped me in terms of dealing with pain in the short term. 4 ideas that have really helped me in working through the whole idea of cleaning when in pain. Number 1 is tools. I can't emphasize this enough. For me, with this type of pain, bending over is something that really aggravates this. The more I'm bending over during the day, it gets worse and worse. And I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, and if you know anything about being home with that age of kids, you're bending over a lot. There's just a lot to do with your kids, and then there's a lot of things to be picked up. I bought a grabber off of Amazon. I think it was $10, and it was a great investment. Those spinning scrub brushes, I'll show a picture of one here. Some of them are self-sufficient. Some of them you attach to, like, you can attach them to like drills and stuff. I think it's pretty cool. But for things like scrubbing your shower or scrubbing the floor, just things that are challenging if you are dealing with physical pain, anything that you can do to take some of that elbow grease out of the work is great. A robo vacuum, if you are able to invest in a robo vacuum or something like that. Now, I don't have a robo vacuum. We've never had one. To be perfectly honest, the vacuuming some of the time has just fallen by the wayside in our house. Maybe a roll around stool or a roll around chair, even a roll around office chair if you need. Also a roll around cart or basket if you're picking up in one room and needing to take it somewhere else. But lifting is a challenge. Something that is on rollers that you can just roll around with you is fantastic. These ideas were really sparked by reading a book. I did a video on it a while back. It's a book called How to Keep House While Drowning, and I will link that video in the description box below. A couple of these ideas came from her, and then there's just some things I've found that for me have been really helpful as I've been working through this. Second is your to-do list. As much as possible, if you can shrink your to-do list down to the essentials. And I would say too, maybe you have different to-do lists for different times. Maybe there's seasons where your pain is a little bit better and you feel like you have more capacity and more energy to be able to do stuff. And then there's maybe, bad days where if it's a bad day, you're shrinking the list way down and just doing what needs to be done to get by. Third is small time or small task. If you are feeling like it's a rough day, if you are in a lot of pain, either choosing to tackle a small task or to take a larger task and break it up into smaller chunks, or to just take a small amount of time. So basically breaking things down. So if it's laundry, you're saying, I'm just gonna move the stuff from the washer to the dryer. That's all I'm gonna do. Or I'm going to restart the washer if I have a load in there that has sat for a couple days and that needs to be rewashed before I move it to the dryer. I'm gonna do that. So whatever it is, you're just gonna take one step. You're not looking at the whole process going, oh, I'm so behind on laundry, the stacks are huge, it's gonna take me forever to fold this. You're just looking at what's the next step. And then with regard to time, just doing something for 3 minutes, just doing something for 5 minutes, just for a short amount of time, and saying, as soon as this timer goes off, I'm gonna stop. I don't have to keep doing this. And again, that is just taking that pressure off and helping you to feel like I can do anything for 3 minutes, or I can do anything for 5 minutes. Last is team. This is so hard. I have had several people offer to me during this time because they can tell that I'm hurting and they can tell that I'm not feeling awesome, saying, oh, just let me help you. How can I help you? And often it is so hard to receive help. But there's more to having people help you than just the task getting done. And that's something that really is beginning to hit home for me. There is something in community, in being able to have other people come around you, whether it's family or friends, safe people in your life to come around and help you. And they're wanting to help you, they're wanting to bless you. And it's part of that social network, I guess, that helps us through times when we are not feeling great. And a lot of times I think in videos like this, people say, well, hire help. If you can afford to hire help, hire help. That's great. And hiring help is awesome. And if you can afford to have a maid service come in and, do deep cleaning, every other week or something, that's fantastic. I am not knocking that at all. I think that's great. But there is something to, when you're in a difficult space, having community come around you. So that's it, my 4 ideas for you. I'm not an expert on this in any stretch of the imagination. And like I said, I have not dealt with a chronic condition. And so I do not pretend to know what that is like or what would be best helpful for that. But this is something that's been heavy on my heart because it's something that I am walking through and have walked through in previous pregnancies. And there's oftentimes in most of our lives stretches where we are limited in some capacity. And so hopefully this can be an encouragement to you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.